Right, so it actually takes like 10 seconds to start up with that. Don't really know why, but there you are.
So what is this? That's stream view, and this is...
So yeah, this is like my kind of setup,
Yeah.
and then this is like the actual stream on. So let me just check. Unmute, and then you can see I've got music playing as well. See the podcast SS music that's moving. Wee bar.
Oh, right, yeah. What's SS?
I can't remember. Screen share? I can't be right. Screen. I thought I broke my thing. There we go.
That is rough. It's like worn down, or is it?
I don't think it's worn down. I think it's just always been a wee bit shit. I don't know why they made that bit so small, but I have to imagine over years it's been more worn down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should really get a new one for the price it would be.
It's a big one.
It was one. It was surprised. It is actually when you look at it. We're drinking beer. What's your thoughts on the beer?
It's a twist cap.
What?
Is it?
No way.
Yeah,
No
you,
way.
you can see the corkscrew on it.
No way. Was it? It fucking was as well, man. Yeah. Fair. Right, hold on. Right, okay. Oh, let me move this forward.
Big hand that feeds.
That works.
It's like,
What do you think of that? Good?
yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to Josh. Good to have you here, mate.
Yeah, good to be here.
Good to be here. We're drinking beers. I don't know if you were here for the intro. The twist caps. I tried to tell him, but he wasn't listening. So today we were trying to think of a topic before this, because we didn't want to come in just raw. We done that last time when we hadn't thought through as much. But I think this time we decided to. Josh watches a little bit of
I listened to some Greek mythology.
some Greek mythology.
I haven't done it in a while because I've been listening to the Always Sunny podcast, but
The great podcast. Shout out to them.
very good.
Number 2 to us, of course. But only 2 episodes in and beating the Always Sunny podcast. That's impressive. Yeah, so we're going to discuss some Greek myth. The only reason I really know some Greek myth, I guess, was from games, God of War, Percy Jackson, and the Lightning Thief. You seen those?
I definitely have, but I don't really remember them.
You don't remember? See, there's 2.
In fact, is it in Percy Jackson that he kills Medusa, or is that Clash of the Titans? I think he
does it in
I think he
both.
definitely does in Clash of the Titans. I don't know if he does in.
I think he does
Percy
it in
Jackson.
both, right?
I don't
Medusa's
know.
one of the ones that are always killing and stuff because she's one of the cool ones, right, with the hair.
Yeah, what are they called? She's got 2 sisters, and they're all the 3 of them are.
Usas, like Medusa.
Nah. I think she's the only mortal one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the other 2 are immortal.
All right. Are they names we would know? No.
I don't think so. I should know the name of the species. I can't remember.
The species.
Not species, but like what they are, sort of. They're like.
I know what you mean. No, do I? I've something flashed through my head there.
Because I don't think they all have snakes for hair, but they're the sisters and they are the something. But I can't remember what they are.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'd seen the first Percy Jackson movie. Didn't see the second one because it came out like years later, right? Like, I remember really enjoying Percy Jackson, and then be like, oh, they're making another one, sick. And then I think years went by and I was like, I've lost all interest in this story. It was cool. It was a cool intro to Greek myth, but
Yeah, I don't think I can remember any of it. I I feel like I remember him walking on some mountain or something, but like underground mountain.
I don't think he does that.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
I think you were thinking of Clash of the Titans.
Maybe. I don't think
Release
so.
the Kraken.
Yeah, not Greek.
What is that?
Norse.
It is, of course, it's Norse. Yeah.
They were always on the ships and stuff. They'd be the ones making
So was
tales
that?
of-
Did they just throw? Were they just like, this is a kind of pantheon or
I think-
mythos?
Yeah, probably Greek and Norse myth are pretty, like, similar. They're. I mean, I don't know if they're similar, but in people's view of them, they're similar. It's like two religious mythologies. Like,
No, I think European all kind of that all blends. Like you get the Roman gods, don't you?
yeah, but the Roman stuff, I think the Roman stuff is pretty much just the Greek stuff, but
Yeah.
with name changes.
Yeah,
Because Cupid
just
Cupid is just the-
reskinned
yeah,
Greek myth.
Cupid is the Roman god of, I guess, love. I think it's just love. But Eros is Greek, I think, and I think they're just the same.
Just the same guy.
I think, yeah. But
different trousers.
I guess the Romans were like, yeah, we like this, we're going to take this, but those names don't sound Italian. Let's make them Italian. Were they Italian at that point? Were they individual?
What, the Romans? Or
Yeah,
who do you mean?
because
Rome.
obviously Rome's in Italy, but were the Romans, were they Italian
Did
at
they
the time?
consider themselves Italians?
I mean, were they Italians? Were they I don't know.
I think so, right?
I guess Rome would be in the same place, but where your city existed didn't exactly fall under like continental placement or anything, did it? It's just sort of like the British owned everything for,
British were
for a
just
while.
out there. Well, no, but this would have been during the height of the Roman Empire, right, when they owned everything.
Yeah, so were they Italian? Or were they the Roman Empire? Was Italy just Roman? Is it Rome? You know?
I guess. Yeah, was everything just Roman? That's a good point.
I don't know, it's interesting.
Because it wasn't like, oh God, here come the Italians. It was like, here come the Romans.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good point. Something that I've never once considered in my life before. But anyway, Greek myth, God of War games. You've played part of.
I've played the start of the new one, but that's Norse.
That's Norse, yeah. Did you watch any of the clips?
I watched an explanation of the first 3 games, and I watched the start of like the God of War movie, where it's just all the cutscenes.
Oh, yeah.
It was long, and I couldn't follow it.
Yeah, because it's all 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, patch that. I think. So I'd done the same. I watched the movie for the first 3 games. I only ever seen. We weren't allowed. Well, when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to play 18 games. I think by the time you came around,
No, I wasn't.
you weren't.
I wasn't unless you said it was okay for me to.
Yeah, but I mean, you had a PC.
Adam was. Adam's the one that was.
Adam wasn't allowed to play 18 games.
Adam was playing like GTA when he wasn't 18.
No.
Because
No.
I've heard that. I was told that.
Is this a lie? I've been told my entire goddamn life.
I
Was
think
it just
it started
me that just
with you.
wasn't allowed?
I think because Adam was the first, he had to be the one to play them to see if they were suitable for the youngers.
No, because he didn't play San
It
Andreas.
might have not.
Right?
It might have not been that the whole time, but I think he at least reached a point where he was old enough to be allowed to play stuff and then make judgments on whether when other people would be able to play them, even if that was older than he was at the time. I'm sure I've heard that.
No,
Adam
I
was
don't think so.
playing-
Because I remember him getting into trouble for watching. I don't know if this is like embarrassing for him, but I remember him getting into trouble for watching Team America: World Police. And I specifically remember because I was in his room chatting to him when I was like a wee guy, and he was watching it, and I think I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And he was like, "It's this." And then I went down the stairs, and I didn't know anything about the movie. I didn't know he wasn't
Right.
supposed to be getting watched by him or anything. I didn't know the age limit. But I went downstairs, and then I remember I think Mum and Dad were kind of slyly like "Oh, what's your brother doing up there and stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, he's watching Team America." And I specifically remember Mum turning to Dad and going, "That's that one with the puppets." And then they went upstairs to tell me get off. Yeah, I remember that.
I mean,
I don't
but
think
I
he was
guess
allowed.
that's like overtly not child friendly though. Whereas like there's games like COD that were 18s, but
Yeah, but
like it didn't matter.
it's not actually got a lot of bad.
So I think for like games and stuff, a lot of the time, mum and dad understood that some stuff was 18 for reasons that they didn't care about. So he was allowed to play those, and then maybe that went on to mum and dad didn't really know what certain games were like,
Because
and so stuff like GTA, they didn't know it was.
by the time you came around, I mean, you're saying they cared or whatever, but you had a PC, man. You were.
I mean, no, yeah, they cared, and
You had access
until
to
I got
everything.
a PC where it's Steam, so stuff is there's no longer ratings on stuff at that
It's
point,
not ratings.
and
There's
I'm
no.
I'm buying stuff with money that's on the computer. It's like digital. I'm not having to go out and get stuff, so like there's no stopping it.
Absolutely criminal, man. Absolutely criminal. I mean, yeah. How was I supposed to play GTA when I was younger? I mean, I guess I could have. Who did I know that was going to buy it for me?
No, yeah, you
It was rough. I
didn't
remember begging to play Red Dead Redemption.
Did you ever get to?
Full on, I was 17. 17 and a half or something. I was like, oh, come on, like, this is, like, I've missed all the GTAs, like, this is going to be massive, I really want to get on this. And then, yeah, I got it. Amazing. Like, one of my, I think I would have been so gutted if I'd missed it.
Was it old when you played it, or was it like
No.
new and that's why you wanted to?
Brand new, mate.
Right.
Brand new. Good feeling.
I guess you were close to 18 as well, so probably with how much you wanted to play it and.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like, I was desperate. Like, imagine going your whole life only playing, like, bits of 18 games at other people's houses, or, like, sleepovers, etc. It sucked. It's weird because you, at, like, 16, I don't know if it's the same now, but at 16 you could buy, like, a nudie mag. But then you're not allowed to... you're not allowed to play, like, COD or
You can buy those at 16, surely.
nudie mags.
Could you?
For sure. For sure. You could
What?
buy
No
scratch
way.
you could buy scratch cards, cigarettes, and nudie mags when you hit 16. The trifecta. And then I think they bumped up. They actually, when I was in college, when I first went to college, they bumped up to 18, and I know that for a fact because there was a guy in my year who was 17, and he smoked, and he had to now ask people to jump in to get him cigs.
Oh.
So there you go. Mate, rough times. Do you know what I will say as well? There was a lot more Neds about. When I was a wee guy, there was a lot more BAMs cruising the streets. I don't know if, like, that's died off because now, like, video games and stuff, I guess, is for, like, I don't know, dweebs back in the day. But then obviously
Yeah.
Ned started getting into COD and all this, and then so I guess they're in their gaffs. But when I was younger, I actually still get, like, no, maybe not PTSD, but you could guarantee when I was a wee guy, you'd be walking down the street, and if you seen, like, a group of guys over the other side of the street, like, obvious, like, trackies or, like, hoods up or whatever, walking down, you were guaranteed they're going to say something to me. And they would. Like 9 times out of 10, they would say something. And I still have that when I'm walking down the street and I see, like, a group of wee guys and I'm passing them. There is still a part of my brain that goes, they're going to say something here. And it's still, like, when they don't, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, I guess I don't think I've ever been like walking down the street and had anyone just say it to me.
It was always, I don't even remember what exactly they would say. It was just, like, being dicks, I guess. I don't even remember can't even think of any examples. They would just, like, say something heavy cheeky to you and then continue walking and maybe, like, throw something at you. And then you'd be like, right. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't see them around much anymore. Interesting. You grew up in a time where just, I don't know, it's just not a lot happening. Everybody's on PC.
Yeah.
There you go. I wish I could think of a segue into Greek myth. for my talk a wee bams, but I can't. So I guess I'll just ask you favourite character from Greek myth.
Of what I know, probably I mean Perseus is cool.
Perseus.
Perseus, the big man, the legend. The
Talk to
man,
me
the
about
myth.
Perseus.
I think he's the son of Zeus. I can't. Is he the one?
He is the one from Clash of the Titans, yeah.
He must be.
He's
yeah.
demigod.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really can't remember the. I can't remember.
He's Josh's
who he is
favourite guy.
to-
But what do you mean you can't remember who
no,
he is?
who he is to Zeus. I remember he's Zeus's kid, but there's a guy in Greek mythology who I think it's actually Zeus that is the son of a god that's like there's the oracle is told that my son will kill me, and so every time, or that my child will kill me, so every time he has a kid he eats the kid.
Zeus eats the kid.
I think it's Zeus's dad eats the kid.
Zeus's
He
dad
eats all his
is-
kids.
Oh, yes. He's the Titan.
It is. Yes, Zeus's dad eats all his kids.
What's his name? Kronos.
Is it Kronos?
It's like
I do-
Kronos or
the
something. The Titan.
I don't think he's a Titan. Because I think the first Greek god is Uranus.
Excuse me? First Greek god Uranus.
I think so. Because it's Gaia? Or is that Zeus's wife? One of them. There's the Greek goddess is the first one. She makes herself a man that I think is Uranus. And then...
No jokes, please.
And then... Uranus... They have a kid. And for some reason, the kid kills Uranus. And then... He gets married and all that. I don't know if it's marriage, but he is with a goddess, and then he's like, "Okay, I killed my dad, so my kid's gonna kill me, because
Right.
I know that's the way the world works, because I did that."
Yeah, patricide and power.
So every kid he has, he's like, "Munch this kid, get rid of it." Don't know why he doesn't
Just
just kill
eating
them.
all his
He's
kids?
just eating them. But then the girlfriend, understandably, is like, "I'm not having this."
And she
So
ships Zeus off or something.
she replaces Zeus after birth and sends him off somewhere. It varies in the different myths, because it's like myths, so it's word of mouth. So there's like
Yeah.
different versions of who it is that raises him. But he's raised elsewhere, and the woman gives like Zeus's dad something, being like, "Oh yeah, this is that baby," and he's
he
like, "Okay," and
kills-
devours it.
Yeah.
But it's not even like a baby. It's just
Is it like
I
a
d-
rock or something?
it is a rock. Yeah, it's a
rock,
rock.
innit?
And he just devours it, and he's like, "Yep, good baby."
How many babies do you have to be eaten to be handed a rock and be like, "Sure," and just chuck it in your mouth? Just not even checking.
No,
You need to be eating
Never mind,
babies.
not even checking. You're gonna break a tooth on that thing. How you eating a rock and not realizing that it's not a baby, and it is a rock?
That's what I mean. You would like. I mean, was he not even chewing then?
Maybe not.
He's just
There's a
like,
lot
"No."
of weird stuff with gods. At one point, I think it's Zeus as well, has his sinews removed, which is
Who?
Zeus, which I think is I don't even know what sinews are.
I'm not sure either.
I think they're like inner,
It's like
body parts, like muscles
Isn't it like
and stuff.
muscle or something? Yeah, like tendons.
Because he has them removed, and he's just like a pile of mush on the floor, but he's alive, and then later he just absorbs them again, and he's back. He's back to normal.
Who removes?
Some dude who's trying to punish him. There's this whole thing. I think there's some dude, famous name, but I can't remember it. I really miss a lot of the names. Who's like, he's on a journey for something, and then I think he like plays music as well. So he like finds the guy that has Zeus's sinews, and the guy's like, "Hey, I challenge you. Like, I'm a better musician." And he's like, "Okay."
So is that what he was using the sinews for? His guitar strings or something?
No, because he's just got them somewhere, and so this dude's like, "Okay, but I'm gonna need to make myself a lute or whatever. So, I'm gonna need sinews for that." And the guy's like, "Hey, funnily enough, I got some sinews right here," and gives them to him. And then he's like, "Okay," and like, I think sort of throws them behind the bush or something and hides in the bush, and then just starts playing with his mouth. It's not a lute. It's like some sort of mouth instrument. So he just starts doing it with his mouth.
How thick were the gods?
But Zeus is like, he's got my sinews and he's not using them. He's like done this as a trick. So he like, as a mush pile, like goes
As a
over
blob.
and absorbs his sinews and then slaughters this guy that took them from him.
I didn't know that about Zeus. When did he get his
Zeus is an
thunderbolt?
animal, man. I think
It
it's just his
sounds like
weapon.
an animal. Like Dodge escapes death by his dad, who's eating babies.
And then he's destined to kill his dad because he grows up and he's like, "Yo, gotta kill this
Of course.
dude. He's been eating all my brothers and sisters." And that's the crazy thing as well, is then he goes and he kills his dad, and then all his brothers and sisters that his dad had eaten are alive again, and they're like fully grown adults.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just God shit, innit?
Yeah.
How raging would you be as Kronos or the Titan or Zeus's father? How gutted would you be? But I mean, I suppose, because he's obviously wasn't chewing them, so what did he expect? Because if he's just swallowed a rock whole, do you know what I mean? That's insane to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's pretty much. So all the gods after that are all Kronos' children, yeah, exclusively.
I think more gods are born because there's like a rule among gods that I think mortals.
If two gods get together,
mortals
they make
die
a god.
if they see a god.
What?
But there are also demigods. It's like a weird thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make
I
any
think
sense.
gods can hide themselves and like appear in a way that mortals
cannot
can
die.
like, not die seeing them.
Because Zeus used to turn into an animal, right?
Zeus did a lot of wild stuff. He turned into a bull at one point. No, did he? I think he did a lot of wild stuff. He turned into a lot of animals to lure women, and then turn back into Zeus to like
to get with them.
Yeah.
Were you about to say?
I don't know if it's
get with them forcibly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a word you can use on.
No, probably not. That's insane. It's a bit like Norse myth as well, but where Norse myth always sounds very much like it was just one big party up in Asgard. Like people were playing tricks on each other. People were. I mean, I guess if you're immortal, you're gonna just be getting up to shit, and then every so often it ends badly. But the only person from Norse myth who seems to be taking shit seriously is the big man himself, Odin. He's up there like giving his eye to the pool of wisdom or the pool of knowledge and all this to see the future and do X, Y, and Z. And he's like trying to live forever and dodge like all the different, not curses, what would you call them, prophecies and all this. And everybody else is just fucking pissing about. Thor's just this big dumb guy with a hammer who flies about the place killing everything. Loki is just having an absolute laugh.
Is he just like a trickster? Does he just
I think so.
mess with people? Is that his whole thing?
I think his whole thing is
Because I mean, it's mischief, right? I don't know if that's. I assume that's not a thing that's made up by the Marvel.
He is the god of mischief, and he's I think they even mentioned that in Marvel because he's a super dark character. I think some guys like, you're not the. He's like, I don't really think you want this. And he's like, what do you mean? Of course I do. And he's like, no, you're not like the god of death, or the god of war. You're the god of mischief. He's like, I think you're just wanting, I don't know, to cause trouble.
Yeah, no, I guess the best way of doing that when you're dealing with immortals is just like doing stuff that nearly kills people. There's no one will actually die.
But then if they're immortal, they're only immortal if they're not like outright killed, right? They're just like immortal.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. That's interesting, actually. Because I guess gods, even like in Greek, I guess gods
They're not
are immortal,
unkillable.
but
Yeah,
you
they're
can
just
kill them.
they live forever, given they aren't like separated from their heads. I think it's pretty
Even
much
then,
it.
I think they can be returned to their heads. I think they can be killed, but they can also be brought back.
They can be
but
unkilled.
I think so. But then it's just that, like, if their head's been severed and their like body's thrown somewhere, like it's never gonna get put back together.
Yeah, they're just making up as they go, man. The gods.
I mean,
I don't even mean mythology. The gods are just up there making up as they go, man. They're just. I mean, that's probably the reason they've found out half the shit they've found out is Loki's mischief, and they return a head to some guy's decapitated body, and then he's back, and they're like, "Fucking hell, Loki, that was a fucking close one, mate. You're fucking lucky we found that head, mate." Do you know what I mean? But lesson learned. Now they're like, we can actually be brought back, and then they celebrate that because you would. But another way we can just be bastards forever. Luca Bear's dropped into the chat with a roast chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, you said it, brother. Was this in reference to something we said? I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know.
think back. A roast chicken. We're getting some. I want to apologise to anyone watching. It seems we are getting some like frame rate drop. I guess it doesn't really matter for a podcast. It'd be more important if we were playing like. If I was playing like a shooter or something. For just podcasting, you'll miss the odd facial expression. But yeah, would you say Greek's your favourite mythology?
I guess I never really cared about Greek anything. Like most of the time, I
Yeah.
didn't really mind. And then I saw this podcast. Like, I'll give it a go. It's interesting, man.
Yeah,
It's good.
I think for me though, I've never really been interested in Greek myth. I think God of War made it more appealing, but I wasn't allowed to play the games, etc., so it didn't really matter. But when the new God of War came out with the Norse stuff, amazing. Absolutely bought into it. Was finding all this stuff. I tried to 100% it, but I couldn't kill the last Valkyrie, which really fucked it. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. There's what do you call them? Egyptian gods. They fly very under my radar.
They seem kind of cool. I just know Khonshu because of Moon Knight. But
Of course, that's why I've heard that recently. Ra? What's the eye called? Is that the Eye of Ra?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't even know about Khonshu. I get like the only thing I know about Khonshu is that he is the guy that like controls Moon Knight.
There's Ibis and stuff. I read the book American Gods, which is Neil Gaiman and someone else, I think. It's a very highly praised, well-respected book. I thought it was fucking painful to read. I thought it was absolutely. I have a real habit.
Is that the one that's got an Amazon series with that guy?
Yeah, that
that's
guy.
in like everything.
What's his name?
I don't know. I feel like I know his name. He was in.
It's on the tip of my mind, but I
He
can't
was
get
in
it.
that one episode of Game of Thrones, wasn't he?
He was in.
He just sort of turned up, and you're like, "Hey, that's that guy."
He was in. No, it's not Driftwood. He wasn't up the town. He's in Deadwood. He was in a TV show called Deadwood, and there's a book of it. I believe the series was based on the book. I have the book. I've never touched it. I have a habit. I think I did finish American Gods, which I'm pretty proud of. But I have a real habit of getting about 3/4, 4/5 maybe of the way through a book, and then just putting it down forever and never going back to it.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, man.
I know. I was speaking to my pal Drew recently, and he was saying like that he doesn't think he could do it. Like if you've seen it most of the way through.
Even like not most of the way through. Sometimes I'll get a bit into a book and be like, I don't care. I'm not interested. I'm gonna stop reading it and like I'll never think about it again. But if I have any interest in it, even if it's like, oh, it's going so slow though, if I have any interest, I need to finish it, because like,
Yeah,
because otherwise, then later I'll just be like, I was interested in that, so I want to go back and read it, and then I'd have to read it from the start. So if I'm like anywhere through it, I'm like, I don't want to read all of what I've read again, so I might as well just read the rest of it now, so that I don't have
I
to
get what
come
you're
back
saying.
to it and then read that bit again.
I think that makes sense. I think I used to have that mentality, but then I was just like, you know what, life's too short, man. Like, see the amount of last fifth of books. If I was to read that last fifth of each book, think about how much my life would be wasted, mate. Hours,
Yeah.
maybe 2 days of my life, right? But it's just painful. Like, I read most of Dune, right? See the start of the book Dune. It's honestly some of the best stuff I've ever read. Like, really, really
Did you never?
pulls you in.
Did you never finish it?
Didn't finish it, mate.
Oh.
Like I said, amazing. Like, honestly, I was reading it and I was like, this is like incredible. Like, I love this. And then see when he gets to the desert. When he gets to the desert, holy hell. See, this book beats you across the head, trying to tell you, oh, by the way, the desert's pretty dangerous and water's super sparse. See if big Frank Herbert just said that in a line, I'd have been like, fair enough. See, instead of him being like, oh man, I'm running out of water, what am I gonna do? And we've got still suits that like collect the moisture from your body and then redistribute it so that you can drink it. And you're like, man, water's pretty sparse. And then they've got like plants in the bit he's in, because it's like it's like the capital. And so they've got like, I think it's like 4 or 5 palm trees type thing, looking things. And the guy's like, he goes down like, oh, I thought water was sparse. And the guy's like, yeah, but this is worth it, like, to show like hope and life. Like, we keep these 5 palm trees. Like, it's worth the water. In the movie's fucking brilliant, right? But in the movie, that doesn't come across at all. They're just very much like, yeah, water's pretty sparse here. And then that's it. In the book, I swear to God, he's in this desert for what feels like years of just him and his maw running about the desert, being like, oh, water's super sparse out here, innit? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a desert.
Hey, sorry, I went off on a bit of a rant there, but I was reading this book and I was like, Jesus, man. You found that with any books? You found any you were like, this is brutal?
I don't think so.
No?
All the books I've read have been pretty, or at least haven't been like boring in the sense that they just go over the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's...
But the book I'm currently reading it's kind of a slow burner, but it's interesting. But it's like 700 pages, and I don't know if I can continue it, but I need to because it's so interesting.
I feel like it should be said that, like, I've read 700-page books, right? And it like that's a fairly long book, right? But the book that Josh is reading is like, it's not like a normal, like, what would it be, like A5 kind of size?
Suppose
it's like
it's,
width of it is
like, it's probably A4 in width, but it's not as tall as A4.
All right, I was going to say, is it not as wide as it is tall? It's like a square,
yeah,
right?
Probably. So it's probably around A4 in width and the width of an A4 in height.
Which is just insane.
But the thing is, I'm at a bit right now that I've not read it in a few days because it's already a like slow burner. The next like 20 pages I've looked forward and it's all over the place because of the type of book it is. It's like, so it's supposed to be sort of like, it's like horror, but you're kind of within it. Like you're part of the horror.
Right.
So it's like, it's really, what would you call that? Not psychological, but like that sort of thing. It's like it's like messing with you in more ways than just, oh, like this story's kind of creepy. It's like, so the next like 20 pages of the book are the some of the text is backwards, some of the text is upside down. It's in like there's boxes that are just in the middle of the page with more text in them.
So it's like fucking with you. It's engaging with you as a reader almost. It's like acknowledging it's acknowledging this isn't just
the
like
point
a story.
of the story is actually it's a movie. It's a film that was made that some guy writes like an essay about, and then some guy finds the essay and reads it and is like, this is insane because this movie doesn't exist, and also the guy that is reading or writing this thing about the movie is blind, so wouldn't have been able to see the movie.
It's a head scratcher, isn't it?
But on top of that, it's that this guy's putting notes in of himself, like telling his story and describing stuff about the essay the guy's written, being like, yeah, I can't find this anywhere, or like, oh, he's referring to this. And then it's supposed to be that the stuff that guy wrote was found by people who then put it into a book and added more notes. So that there's notes from the editors of the book that are like, oh yeah, because maybe the original guy puts in like a phrase in a different language in like Latin, and then the guy that apparently found this is like, couldn't find this anywhere, and then the editors add a note being like, yeah, we got it, it means this. And this is all then put into a book that is put on shelves that you buy and are reading. But all of it is false. Like, all of it is fiction. So the idea that you are reading a book that has been published from the notes of this guy's notes on another guy's essay is part of the story.
It's part
of the reality.
So you need
all of it is false.
You need to buy into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you need to kind of, to immerse yourself fully in the book, you need to be like, kind of pretend, oh, this is the real collection of notes of a story.
Yeah.
Right. And the name of it?
House of Leaves.
House of Leaves. Look it up. The book is a square.
But the thing is, it's like interesting, and this bit is like, so it's already like, this is a really interesting thing for it to be like all over the place and like messing with you. But when it's already like, I'm struggling to read it because it's like slow burner and stuff. It's like, I can't be bothered. Am I going to have to look in the? Am I have to going to read this book in the mirror to be able to read this whole section? But I found actually it's repeating stuff as well. So there's a note. There's normally it's like normal on the page, and then at the bottom there's a notes section where the notes are, and it's like numbered. So it's like you'll be reading a bit and it says number.
Okay.
At that number, it describes it.
Yeah. I can't remember what that's called. It's like a kind of reference point. Like, here's what this actually expanded.
References is probably
right.
Or notes, but so in this, like at this point, I've made it to it's like the whole page has got the stuff, and now the notes is just a square text box that's been papped in the middle of the text, but it's still got the number and just a note. And then on the next page, it's the same thing, positioned in the same place as reference to the other page and backwards, so it's as if it's just gone through.
Right, yeah, okay. That sounds like an absolutely mental time. Like, that sounds like you need to prepare yourself for doing some work.
Yeah.
That's
why I've not read it in quite a few days.
That's why I lean mostly to fantasy.
But see, the thing is I want to push through that as well, because I might be like, oh, I can't be bothered from this point. But once I get past that bit, it's like 3 words a page. I've looked forward. Once I get through that bit, the text is in the middle of the page, and it's like a sentence, and then you'll just be rattling through pages.
That's a good point. Do you check the page numbers?
I check
before you read a book.
I check how many pages are in the book, and if I get to the end of a chapter, I look through seeing when the next chapter will be. I count the pages till the next chapter.
That's weird.
I'm like,
hey, Jamie Bella, Jen is in the chat. Jen is a fellow streamer. So yeah, please check her out. She recently came back to play some Borderlands. She's been gone for a wee bit, but yeah. Hey Jen, this is awesome. By the way, thank you very much.
Aye.
Yeah, you check the chapters as well.
I have like.
See, I don't like to, cause I like to know how many pages, just because I like to know the commitment that I'm making. But I don't like to know how long a chapter is, because I think then that makes me like judge, oh, should I do one more chapter? Well, when is the next? I like to just be like, do you want to do another chapter? Yeah,
Well,
then don't check. You just have to commit to getting to the next one.
That's exactly my reason though, is that I can't. I like to know how much I'm committing to before I commit. Because like,
even just
if I'm reading a normal
that
book,
granular.
yeah. Because a lot of the time I'll read a chapter a day and that'll be it. Unless it's short chapters, then I can get through multiple.
A chapter a day
But
is alright.
A normal length chapter is like I get to the end of a chapter and I'm like, alright, that's enough reading for today.
I can't leave on non-chapters. Well, I can if somebody comes in and interrupts, but
I can when it's books like the one I'm reading right now, where I've been looking through it, I can't find the next chapter. I don't know where it is.
yeah, then you kind of have to
Yeah.
drop it, whatever. I think Dune didn't really have chapters of it. I think it had acts, so it had like the 3 acts.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I think for that, you just kind of... I don't think it had specific chapters that were a full title, etc., but it got to points where you were like, this is a natural kind of... Something has happened,
Right, yeah.
and now we're in the lull phase after it.
That's annoying, though. I don't really like that when there's no chapters.
Yeah, it
Because
sucks.
chapter is very much... I'm like, okay, good. Like, we've had... Because if there's no chapters, then you're probably... Even if you find a good place to stop, you're probably going to come back and be like, I need to read the end of the last bit I read, and then continue on.
Let me ask you a quick question just to change things up. Do you think you could beat a deer in a fist fight?
No.
No? You don't
No.
think you could beat a deer in a fist fight? I'm talking, it's not like running away, it's not like you have to chase it. You and a deer are scrapping.
I don't know, maybe. I don't think I'm strong enough
Put it this
to
way,
take
it's
down
to
an
the
animal.
death. Do you think the deer is going to kill you? I mean, it's got a set of chompers
if
on it.
I'm trying to kill the deer, I think the deer could kill me.
You don't think you could beat a deer in a fight?
I don't know. I don't know the strength of a deer, and I don't know the limits of my own strength.
You should have really worrying look at me when you're like, I don't know the limits of my own strength. Like that makes it sound like you've maybe thought about killing things before.
No. I mean, like, I don't know how I don't know what it would take to kill a deer. I don't know what it would take to.
Okay, I get
just
you.
a fist
I
fight.
mean, you've never had to fight anything to the death, so I suppose it's
No.
a tough.
I've never had to fight anything.
It's not.
Period.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing to draw on. I'll go. I'll say I think I could. I think I could kill a deer. Bare knuckle brawl. Not that I'm saying I would.
See, it's those legs I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Because they're fast too, so it gets if it's using its legs that it normally uses for that speed.
That's gonna be like
To
Conor
kick you
McGregor
in the head.
roundhouse kick.
Yeah, that's gonna that
That's permanent
hoof
damage
will go through you.
if you survived. What about? Because I mean, a horse. There's no way you can beat a horse.
A horse could kill you with one kick.
A horse.
If you're behind
a
it.
horse would fuck you up. Would fuck me up. I don't mean you. I just mean a horse would
No,
fuck
anyone.
you up. It's
I think Dwayne Johnson could last 3 kicks from a horse. To the face, I'm talking about to the face.
to the face.
If he's behind the horse and gets kicked once, I think he can bounce back. Gets kicked twice, I think he's going down, but might be able to get up. But I think 3 kicks would kill Dwayne Johnson.
I was going to say his face. I was going to be like, oh, that's the moneymaker, but it's
I think
definitely not. Like,
don't get me wrong.
guy's
I think
ripped.
Dwayne Johnson could beat a horse in a fight to the death.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, because he'd get in front of it and then he'd like take it down. But I just mean if he wasn't fighting back and he was taking 3 hits
He's
from a
just
horse,
taking.
that's the line of that would kill him. But I don't think he would die because of that, because I don't think he would take those 3 hits. I think he would fight back enough. But me, I'm going down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going down no questions asked. What about, let me think of another animal here. 20 meerkats.
How big's a meerkat?
Big's a meerkat? Probably like,
It's bigger than that, surely.
it's like a foot. It's like a foot long, right?
Is that?
Maybe a foot and a half? I don't know. I probably full stretch, probably about
Yeah.
probably a foot and a half. Maybe 2 feet? I don't know. How many did I say? 10 of them?
20.
20? Do you think you could?
I don't know. I don't know anything about meerkats. Do they have claws?
I think little ones.
Probably.
I'm gonna go. I think you could defeat.
I think I could defeat them. I think I'd be horrendously scratched up. And,
I mean, that's all right for walking away with your life,
but
though,
yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. I don't think they could end me. I think they could probably, if they got your eyes though, because I think they could blind me.
Yeah.
And then at that point,
I don't think they're that
what's the
tactical, but
fight?
I think you just try not to let them near your eyes when they're like just frenzy and attacking you. I don't think they're going to be like, I'm going for this guy's eyes.
Hmm.
I don't think they're as strategic or as coordinated as that.
Because I mean, if you kick and stamp,
You've definitely killed something. Let me see what we got in the chat here. Asking the real questions, of course. I've had the conversation, what's the biggest animal you could kill in a death match? You would not believe the opposition I've faced saying I could kill a cow. Do you think you could kill a cow?
ooh, and they're bony.
They're bovine. Sorry, continue.
I don't know. Can they kick? Probably not.
I think it can
I'm
kick.
picturing in my head now a cow kicking like a horse, and it doesn't look
No,
right.
it's not going to kick like a horse, but it can kick.
One
right.
like because a horse is like both back legs. A cow just one leg out. Just a wee
I mean, I
flick.
guess they're not that stable. Yeah, it'd be more of a flick, I think.
I mean, you can tip a cow, right? That's the thing people used to do
But
back
I mean,
back in yonder years of.
but to kill it in
absolutely
a death
nothing to do.
match, you're going to be sweating buckets.
I don't think
Try-
the cow could do all that much to you,
The
though.
cow couldn't do much, but you would be.
No,
You'd
yeah.
be there for ages, just punching the thing.
But that's what I mean. If you can tip a cow and like it's not really a dangerous thing, then I don't. It doesn't seem like it has that much fight. Like you could probably kill it, but it would be effortful.
Okay. Brick killed a guy with a trident. We love to see the Anchorman references here. I'm sure I heard a dude survived a bear attack by biting through an artery in its neck.
Lord.
Wow.
Would be a long and grim affair.
But over time, I'm going on top.
I mean, yeah.
It would just be exhausting more than anything else. It'd be physically exhausting.
Yeah. But I mean, it's one of those things that like it would be exhausting, but you'd
I
win.
guess you'd win. There's no denying
It's
that.
like the whole thing with humans having stamina. Is that the right term? Where it's
yeah,
they
stamina's
can,
like endurance,
they
right?
can run for ages. So like if you're getting chased by a cheetah, that cheetah's gonna catch you. But if you're far enough away to begin with, then the cheetah's gonna
Right.
like have to stop and rest, and you're still going.
Right. Do you think that's one of the big reasons for human survival and the
Yeah, that and tools. I think that's an important.
tools
an
and
important part of human
cooperation in
survival.
it? Because it was the reason that I have read anyway that what were the other ones? The Neanderthals. The reason that we survived and the Neanderthals did not is because the Neanderthals apparently didn't didn't cooperate with each other very much, and they didn't like pass down knowledge. So like they would create like a stone hatchet, and then go out into the world and use that stone hatchet forever, or like just make stone hatchets. And even if there was a guy created a more advanced stone hatchet, it'd just die out there anyway. So it was just like there wasn't as much information shared, whereas like humans or like Homo sapiens. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, they're Homo sapiens, but
Yeah,
what you're saying?
can't remember the name for.
So Neanderthals were just like, oh, build this and then passed it on and just used it for ages. But humans are like,
Humans
we
actually
can make
collaborated.
it better then.
Yeah,
If we can take this thing that's not great and make it into what we've just made.
and then cooperated
there's
to like
farther than that.
hand out, like share the knowledge.
All right.
And that's how we survived, because we're the best. Neanderthals, where are you now? They thought they were hot shit back in the day. Wild times.
Apes are in the, or well, not apes, I guess we're apes, so apes have been in the Stone Age for a long time. But monkeys are in the Stone Age now? Certain monkeys, at least?
Monkeys have... So when did they move into the Stone Age? What do you mean?
I think it was fairly recently. I think...
What is fairly recently? Last 100 years? 200 years?
I think more recent than that. I'm talking about, I think, the last, 10 years or something.
They
I don't know, I saw it recently. I saw, recently, an article that said monkeys have moved into the Stone Age or something. I don't know if it's just the beginning. I think it was, a monkey just, sharpened a rock or something with another rock. And it's like, yo.
That's impressive, but...
I mean, yeah, that's the beginnings.
I mean,
We're talking about 2,000 years from now. Humans hanging out, monkeys hanging out.
That's if you seen
just talking about.
If you seen your child
the
at
next...
7 years old sharpening a rock with another rock, you'd be like, nice.
Yeah.
That shows some real brain function.
We're talking about 2,000 years, monkeys and humans talking to each other about the next Disney Plus show.
What?
You know what I mean?
You think we are within the lifetime
more than 2,000
of
years.
monkey pals?
I mean, I mean, they're in the Stone Age.
People's mum, not even people's mums and dads. Us being like, you better not be hanging out with the bloody monkeys.
Think how good a job we are doing at sustaining our own life. At this point, an asteroid has to strike the Earth dinosaur era style for us to be killed off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we're running shit for sure. We're far from chilling next to Caesar.
Either we survive all the way until monkeys hit their age of whatever we're in, and then we can hang out with them, or even we're so far beyond that then that they're still idiots to us.
Yeah.
Or they overrun us and then we go extinct because now the monkeys are here with the skills we have. Then they eradicate us.
Planet of the Apes style.
But I think looking at these Disney Plus shows and stuff we humans are making, these apes get to this point, they're like, look at these shows these humans are making. We should eradicate these humans then. And then Caesar's like, nah, hey, check out these Disney Plus shows. This is worthwhile keeping these.
I'm going to put you guys
for.
onto something called Star Wars. I can see the monkeys. I'd quite like a monkey pal. Do you think they'd speak? In your mind, envisioning this scenario, do the monkeys?
I think they could speak
English. Or, yeah.
I think probably it would initially be a war. They'd reach a point of suddenly they can do stuff. They'd be like, "Yo, let's fight.
Yeah,
let's fight some people." And they'd start
be wanting land or equality.
And so then they'd have their own language.
They'd have
because they'd develop their own thing. But I think eventually a peace would be made,
brokered, and
then people would be humans would be going and living in monkey country.
As does code of conduct would be no discrimination against monkeys.
Do you think we'll hit another what do you?
I cannot wait. I have no idea what's about to come out of this man's mouth.
I'm talking because obviously there was this segregation,
right?
In the past. Do you think we're gonna hit another segregation of where monkeys, monkeys get to the intelligence of humans, and then humans are like, nah, but they're not equal to us, and suddenly now it's racism all over again, but now it's speciesism.
I think there would be that for sure. I think there would be. I mean, I'm personally, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what the monkeys want to do. Do you know what I mean? If they listen, the only thing I'm saying is they have to work, right? I'm not going to a 9 to 5 job, and a monkey's like cruising about stealing bananas, wherever they steal bananas, and being like, "Listen, I want equality." I'll be like, "Equality, get yourself down stocking the shelves in Tesco's."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then the housing market will be even more crazy.
Then
man.
we're talking about monkeys getting paid, monkeys carrying
Get
money.
monkeys
Then-
with some walking around money.
Then
There's
we're talking about monkeys with money. We're talking about monkeys needing to keep that money somewhere. We're talking about monkeys wearing clothes.
We're talking about monkeys with pockets.
Yeah, monkeys with pockets.
We're talking about monkey banks.
Do you think monkeys would go? Because we went to clothes. Do you think monkeys would see them? Like, we don't want to go to clothes. Look at these fools with no fur. We don't want to go to clothes. Because I mean, we have
Why did we
handbags.
go to clothes? There's no. It was for warmth originally, wasn't it?
I guess, but
I guess it was because we started becoming. But was that not because we had like we created fire and all that, so then we didn't need as much fur, so we started shedding. Imagine evolution, and then we get to the point where it's like, right, there are cold times where we need to have a bit more,
maybe.
and then style kind of developed out of that.
Do you think that's how it? Do you think it was fire? The like kicking about around fires caused us to stop having fur, and
Yeah,
then
'cause
we
it sounds
needed
crazy
clothes.
when I'm saying
Because
it
I
out loud.
assumed that we started wearing clothes, and it was because of that we stopped. The like fur went away.
I mean, maybe it was clothes that we came up with clothes like to get warmer, but it would have been right. It would have been to get warmer.
But then that seems insane because then you
Well,
wear
'cause think
clothes
about
to
the
get
Vikings,
warmer,
how
and then
many-
evolution's like, oh well, now you've got clothes, you don't need the fur. But if we were cold enough with the fur, we were wearing clothes. Seems like evolution made a big mistake.
Well, evolution makes mistakes, but it's got us this far. Huh?
Yeah.
There's a cheery nota. We're talking about monkeys wearing clothes.
Yeah.
We're talking about monkeys with jobs. We're talking about monkeys down the pub complaining about their week.
Yeah.
We're talking about people walking past and saying chimp-based slurs, and there being brawls down the bar. Would monkeys continue living in trees?
Do they live in trees?
Monkeys live in trees.
Do they?
I think monkeys live in trees.
But where in trees? Would they just
Don't know.
lie on tree branches?
I think they just lie on tree branches and kind of take it easy.
Surely not. Surely they have.
Where do you think they live?
I never really considered monkeys going home. I guess I just assumed they were always
Yes.
awake
But that's what I mean,
24
they would
hours
still
and constantly roaming about.
I wouldn't say awake 24 hours, but maybe it's a different tree every night. Do you mean sleeping under the stars?
I mean, surely they. I guess, yeah. Maybe I guess it would be trees. Where else would they go?
I mean, you don't see. It's not like you're walking around
Where
the
did
Amazon rainforest and that. Oh, there's a wee monkey house. And it's a wee guy
where did early humans
knocking together a wee guy knocking about putting up a shelving unit or something.
Some guy in a
Some guy knocking
and a
that
high
up,
vis and a hard hat, just sort of standing, looking over, watching over.
appreciating the work, but that's good. Right, John. Right, John, that's looking good, mate. A missus will be pleased with that, John.
Used to be tenements, all this.
Used to be trees, all this. Used to be trees. That was back in the 80s and 90s. Used to be all trees, this. And the bloody baboons came by. Baboons changed all this. I like to imagine little monkey tree houses. I think they'd continue living in trees.
I guess. Probably it would probably be tree houses though.
But see, that's where it gets
They build
difficult, because what
roofs.
would they do
Roofs.
about... Land is owned by people, right? Land is all owned.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in Scotland it isn't actually, is it? Scotland not got some kind of free?
We did sort of take it all, right?
What do you mean? Yeah,
like,
like
it's not
the
our
world
it's
is
not
for sale.
our planet, but then we just sort of decided
We decided to draw
Hey.
lines in it and say
we decided to be like, yo,
this
okay,
costs.
this is owned by these people and you can pay money for it, and the animals were just like, what? But they weren't, because they weren't intelligent enough to know.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. If monkeys came about with Atlas and jungle zoos, and the government
That raises the question though:
governments be like, no.
if monkeys started getting to a point where they'd start questioning us, would we just kill them? Just be like, hey, you trying to come in and take our land? And they're like, what makes it your land?
Somebody
And we're
would.
like, we have it. And then
I think there'd be disputes, and there'd be monkey lawyers involved. There'd be housing disputes.
see, the real
But then you also get squatters' rights. And the monkeys would be like, listen, we've been living in this jungle. I go back 3 generations in this jungle. Right? I own this part of the jungle. And then do you own trees? What were you going to say?
I mean, I was going to say the interesting part.
I thought you were going to say interest rates.
No.
I was like, this is getting in depth, man. This guy's going full on
The-
financial.
The
This is-
interesting place to go is, so if like land animals got to the point that they were like coming for our land, it being our land based off of just we were the only ones intelligent enough to start taking stuff as our own. What about, like, we can't own the ocean because like we don't know enough
I see
about
what
it.
you're
We're
saying.
not there. What about if like dolphins get to our point of intelligence, suddenly they own the oceans?
They own the seas.
That's theirs, because we can't grab that. We would have it if we were like able to. The way we are, we'd
Well, I
be
mean,
like, that's our land.
China's building islands, right?
But
in
like
the
we
South-
can't get to the bottom of the ocean.
China's building islands in the South China Sea. I can
But
see
that's
it.
still land. Then the dolphins are like, yo,
Okay.
underneath this island. What are you gonna do? That's our
That's
our
our domain.
property.
If you send any tankers out, we're coming for it. You better send out Tom Hanks.
That's
Send out Captain Phillips. Then
we're
he'll see how it's done.
we're like developing technology so we can get into the oceans and stuff. What if we cruise into the ocean and there's just some dolphin translator comes up and is like, I'll be the spokesperson for the dolphins. You gotta bounce. You can't just cruise in here.
Listen, this is taking years, and we've lost so many translators out in. We've been trying to contact you out in Iceland. We thought that was your main base. They keep cutting holes in it. We thought they were trying to contact us. Spears came flying. I would love the dolphin to have like a Scottish accent. Right, big man. Like, whoa, big man, back up there, son. Listen, this is dolphin territory. I think it would be dolphin. Do you think if you go down
Because
deep
then the
enough?
humans are just like, oh no, we're gonna take over this. You can't stop us. And the dolphins are like, hey, you have to cruise in here in a submarine.
Aye.
What are you gonna do?
Look at that armour. Look
Yeah,
at the
you can-
armour you came in on.
Yeah, you might have torpedoes and stuff on your submarine. We got nothing. We're out here because we can actually breathe here. Or well, they can't. Well, they have to go.
We'll
up
send
to
some
oxygen,
coral
but,
into
like, we
those
can live down here.
propellers. They push a bit of coral into the propellers. That's going to crash your whole thing. I like to see you down at 40,000 leagues under the sea, mate.
There's also just the part of the ocean that we physically can't get to.
Yeah, too deep.
Yeah.
Because of the pressure. What do you think lives under there?
There's a thing about how apparently the deeper, I don't know if it's the deeper, but like deep in the ocean, there's just bigger versions of stuff that are at the top of the ocean, and it's something to do with pressure or something. It's just like scientists think that it must just be the way pressure works deep in the ocean. Creatures that are down there end up big, but the same creatures that are the same in every way will be smaller where it's less pressure.
It's also
So there's like giant. There's like wee sort of animals that are like cockroaches. They're like that size, but then there's giant ones they find from like deep in the ocean.
because it's a big part
But
of
it's
it
the
light
same.
as well, right? That's why you get fish down there with lights on them because they need the artificial light
Yeah, that's
because
crazy.
it's pitch black.
How that's crazy too. Because how have you got a living creature just producing light? I think we produce a bit of light.
Some kind of
We
We produce
produce
light?
I think it's somewhat, but like we produce infrared, which is light.
yes.
but it's like in the form of heat. But I guess all light's in the form of heat, right? That's how light works. And so, it's like, I guess if we can produce infrared light, then some
something
creatures can produce visible.
bioluminescent.
Well, just
somehow.
visible light.
Just visible
Because
light.
it's the same it's the EM spectrum. It's the same thing. It's
I
just
hear what you're
different
saying.
wavelengths.
We are an hour and 5 minutes into this. I usually like to cap it around an hour, just for the sake of I don't know, the sake of it being consistency, of it being. I feel like if you go beyond an hour, people just aren't going to be. People are going to be like, this is way too long to even attempt listening to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So an hour. Thank you for the conversation. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
No.
Nah, there you go. You heard it here first. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. You got any beefs? Any beefs with anyone?
No.
No beefs? No shout outs to anyone? Want to shout out any of your pals? Or any restaurants you've enjoyed?
I'll not shout the friends because they'll be funny.
Okay, nice. You've been shunned, Josh's pals.
I don't know. Restaurants. I don't know. I went to Taco Bell for the first time.
What'd you think?
Monday. It's alright.
A man of few words.
I mean, £5 for 2 tacos and chips.
But
The
it's
chips
shite.
were banging. That's one thing.
It's shite, but innit?
The chips were banging. The tacos. It's weird because the beef was warm and everything else was cold, which I guess is how it's supposed to be because it's just salad. But I was eating it like, this is cold, and then would get beef and be like, oh, that's nice. And I don't think it was even nice because it was nice. I think it was nice because it was warm, and that's what I wanted.
Taco Bell is genuinely horrendous.
I really liked the chips. I thought the chips were great.
I think it's annoying because I don't think it's difficult to do Mexican food like really, really well. Do you know what I mean? Like the ingredients are actually super simple. It's like beans, rice, chicken, like with the good seasoning, etc. Like guacamole or avocado or salsa. Like it's not crazy difficult to make. But Taco Bell just seems so like. Were you in Taco Bell or did you order it online?
I was in Taco Bell.
If you were in it, does it not seem like it's just nobody can be fucked?
No, what the guy that was there was working hard. Guy was putting his all in. Mad respect. To
That's
the guy.
a shame.
Probably not getting paid enough to care that
to
much.
Care as much
so
as he did.
Mad respect to the dude.
Well, big shout out the guy down at Taco Bell.
That dude that was working at Taco Bell on Monday.
What Taco Bell? Maybe not specifically, but is it in the town or is it?
Yeah, it was in town.
Sauchiehall Street?
No.
No?
Don't think so. It was like across the street and a bit down from a McDonald's somewhere. I honestly don't know. I just sort of followed my friend.
Oh, was it not at the Four Corners?
Yes. Maybe.
Near the cat house? And that?
I think so, yeah.
So you got like KFC or Pizza Hut on one corner, McDonald's,
I think
cat
so.
house, etc. Yeah.
So that dude.
That guy. Mad respect. Big shout out to you wherever you are, mate. Hope they pay you what you're worth. And if they don't, hope you get out there and get something better. Psycho, mate.
Yeah.
Get down into Top Alabama or something. Yeah, thank you very much to Josh for joining me. Hope you've had a good time. We'll definitely get you back on at some point.
Yeah.
To talk about more shit. But yeah, thank you everyone who's dropped into the chat. Listen, thank you everyone who's watching live. And thank you everyone who's watching later. It has been Callum and Josh doing this podcast. It's currently called Neggy Vibes. We'll maybe get people's opinions on that on another podcast. But yeah, until next time, I'll try and get a schedule in for maybe future Wednesdays. I'll need to see how D&D pans out, what date that falls on, then I'll do this on one of the other ones. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Catch you all after.
Conpon YouTube channel.